The Midnight Express through the Gotthard Base Tunnel didn't just rattle. It pulsed with a heavy, subsonic throb that turned the coffee in my cup into a series of perfect, concentric rings. I sat in Carriage 7, a silent vault of velvet and chrome that smelled of ozone and old, frozen ink. Across from me, a woman in a red silk coat was knitting with needles made of polished human bone. She wasn't making a sweater. She was weaving a complex, three-dimensional map of the tunnel we were currently screaming through at 200 kilometers per hour. "The mountain is hungry tonight," she said, her voice sounding like a silver coin spinning on a marble floor. She didn't look up from her work. "It's tired of being a hollow shell. It wants to fill the void with something substantial. It wants to fill it with us." I looked out the window, but the tunnel walls weren't concrete anymore. They were made of millions of discarded Swiss watches, all synchronized to the exact millisecond of my own heartbeat. The rhythmic ticking was so loud it began to vibrate the marrow in my ribs. Suddenly, the train didn't just slow down, it stretched. The carriage became a mile long, the lights flickering in a sequence that spelled out my social security number in Morse code. My shadow detached itself from my feet and began to crawl toward the woman in red. "Stop it," I whispered, but my words came out as physical objects, tiny, lead letters that fell to the carpet with a heavy thud. She caught the letter S in her knitting, integrating my very speech into the bone-white fabric of her growing geometric map. She stood up, and I realized she was 10 feet tall, her silk coat flowing like a river of blood. "Switzerland is the world's hard drive, Thomas, and you are a corrupted file that needs to be overwritten." She pointed a bone needle in my chest, and the world tilted. The train floor turned into a liquid mirror. I saw my life reflected there, but the events were happening in reverse. I was unaging, my memories being sucked back into the obsidian briefcase I didn't remember carrying. I was being formatted for a new, silent utility. I grabbed the emergency hammer and smashed the watch glass window. Instead of wind, the cabin was flooded with a torrential downpour of gold gears and tiny copper springs. The pressure was immense, the weight of a billion seconds trying to crush me into a single point. I dived into the gear storm, swimming through the clicking metal. I found the central spring of the mountain, a massive, glowing coil of sapphire that powered the entire alpine range. I jammed my fountain pen into the mechanism, the ink leaking out like a black poison. The ticking stopped. The woman in red let out a sound like a cathedral bell cracking in half. The watches on the wall shattered, their hands flying off like shrapnel. The reality of the tunnel buckled, the concrete returning in a violent, gray rush of suffocating dust. I woke up on the platform in Zurich, coughing up a single, tiny brass cog. The express train was gone. The station clock was perfectly silent, its hands frozen at the exact moment I had jammed the spring. I looked at my reflection in a shop window. My eyes were now silver. I walked out into the city, but the people moved with a strange, jerky cadence, like puppets on a short string. I realized I hadn't stopped the weaver. I had just broken the clock. Now, I'm the only thing in Switzerland that is actually moving in real time. I checked my pocket and found a piece of the red silk coat. It felt like a warm, living thing, whispering coordinates to a bunker beneath the Matterhorn. The mountain is still hungry, and I'm the only file that refused to be deleted. The hunt has only just begun. Every time I hear a watch tick, I feel a sharp pain in my chest. I know she's out there, knitting a new map with a new needle, waiting for me to board the wrong train again. The Alps are beautiful, but they are a trap made of precision parts and very long memories.